Okay, this is my motherland, Lady Ghana tiny. Anything I go talk, we get a tiny.
The private sector is a crucial partner in taking Ghana to the next level. So our objective is to push Ghana to a higher level, middle income country, and to increase our GDP, share of GDP in the world. And so because of this conscious approach to growing the private sector, we are also reaching out to the private sector, not just waiting for the private sector to approach us, but to tell our story and let everybody know. UK is one area that has been absent for a very long time in the transformation, the new transformation Ghana is going through. But we share the same kind of language, culture, history, and it's important that we should show keen interest in what is happening in Ghana. And so we have lots of opportunities in the oil industry, and indeed Tallow is there and doing very well. But we still need some infrastructure to be built in the oil and gas industry. We have launched a program to increase our present 2,500 megawatts to 5,000 megawatts by 2016. It's difficult, but we hope to achieve that. It means lots of investment. We have at the moment granted license to about 11 independent power producers. Some have shown interest, others have demonstrated but are not coming forth. And we have a general infrastructural need in the country, a deficit of $1.7 billion investment gap, and this will occur for the next decade.
Nobody for fight, we they need one piece. Income boom, income boom. Easy with it, we to protect the nation.
Essentially, we've gotten to a point in our lives in Ghana where the economy would largely want to see the private sector in the driving seat, driving the economy. We want to see how the private sector will perform and how the government supervision can have a mutual relationship with the private sector. Private sector benefiting because it wants profits, we benefiting because we want quality service for the people. And PPP is a choice because of the enormous benefit it has for us. Presently, we have an infrastructural gap of about $1.7 billion a year to be invested in the next 10 years. So logically, we would need to find partnerships because more and more the budget is becoming inadequate in tackling the challenges of providing the infrastructure in the country. And so we see the private sector partnerships within and outside the country as a way to go.
We go. Okay, this is my motherland, Lady Ghana tiny. Anything I go talk, we get a tiny. Bo, Boniya hey, Boni Dane fe hey. Many me fende he kati and many won't pay. Male bahi ke ifende bajamin kabo. Boy no ko ninja la wa mi kebo. I promise you.
Welcome everybody. It's lovely to see so many people here. My name is Stephanie McDonald. I'm a partner here at Nabarro and I head our Africa group. It's a great honour for me to welcome this evening the Honourable Minister Rashid Pelpuo, the Chairman of Direct Access Ghana, Mr. Abbeam Danzo, the Business Council for Africa and its members, and all other guests. I'm sure you will agree with me that this evening is an exciting opportunity for all of us to hear and learn about investment opportunities in PPPs in Ghana. I myself have just returned this afternoon from Istanbul, where I attended and spoke at a conference which was organised by UK government. And the purpose of the conference was to bring together Turkish contractors, investors, and banks with their British counterparts to discuss opportunities to collaborate in PPPs and infrastructure. And you might ask me, why am I talking about Turkey when this evening is about Ghana? Well, there is a good reason. Because what was very clear to me from the discussions at this business summit is that Africa is very much seen as a very important target region for investment in infrastructure and PPPs. So against that background, I'm delighted that the Honourable Minister is able to share with us some insights into investment opportunities in his country, Ghana. The programme for this evening is that I will hand over to Mr. Danzo to give a 5-minute introduction. He will then hand over to the Honourable Minister, who will talk to you about PPP investment opportunities in Ghana. And we'll then open the floor for questions and answers, followed by drinks and canapes. We do encourage as much interaction as possible. The Honourable Minister would be pleased to take as many questions as you have. Mr. Danzo.
Thank you, Madam. And ladies and gentlemen, Honourable Minister Pelpuo, thank you so much for honouring our invitation. I don't have a lot to say, but as we all know, when we talk about Africa, there are so many things about Africa. There are good things in Africa, but it happens that most of the times many people look at the bad side of Africa. So when we're going to do investment or going to do any business, we look at that side, and we don't want to go to Africa to do great investment or businesses. Access Africa or Access Ghana, we have decided that we will be a mediator, and to make sure that nobody goes to Ghana or Africa to go through that hassle, having 419 here and there. This one will say, I know this minister, I know this president, and then at the end of the day, you end up, being in the wrong place or wrong hands, and then your investment will be in jeopardy. So we decided that we will set up this and then also go into the ministers and making sure that they themselves will have a contact with every investor or every businessman or every businesswoman. And so Access Ghana is all about getting contact with the ministers and the presidents and also the investors together, and to ask them even questions before they get to Africa. So as they are going, they know what they're going to get, and also know what we Africans also going to get. And to be honest with you, I don't want to be biased. I'm a serious Ghanaian, and I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. And seriously, Africa, the gateway to Africa is Ghana. And I just don't want to say much because Honourable Minister is here, and I think I'll leave everything to him to do so. Thank you so much. Honourable.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming for this very important program, attending upon this program, and to listen to me about Ghana and the investment opportunities in that country. As you all know, we've gotten to a point in the life of Ghana and the development process of Ghana when the private sector is taking the lead in what we want to do. We consciously are making the private sector a strategic partner in the next round of Ghana's development. Ghana is a middle-level income economy now, but we are in the lower brackets. Our effort is to push it to the higher level middle-income economy. But that means that we would need to partner the private sector. More and more, it is a challenge for the budgets or for the economy to sponsor all the public projects that we want to embark on. And so there's a need for us to stretch our hands, help develop the private sector, and give the private sector the space it will require to invest in Ghana, to benefit from its investment, and we benefit from the efficiency, the drive, and quality of service of the private sector.
So if you are thinking about going to Ghana, it's the right time to go there. The reason why Ghana is a destination is because right now we are enjoying consistent democracy and peace. We have very friendly environment. We have very friendly people, and the country has gotten to a point where itself is stretching its hands to woo investment into the country. Now, the UK is a serious partner in this respect. We are looking forward to getting UK investors into Ghana, especially because of some historical links we have together, and also because of the fact that we have the same cultural links. We speak the same language. English is our official language. You don't have to speak to any interpreter. We have democracy, we have fair play, we have rule of law, and it is a destination for anybody who wants to see his investment grow, and for you to be able to make profit and repatriate your profit and feel comfortable being in Ghana. Now, we have lots of opportunities open to anybody who wants to come to Ghana in the social sector, in infrastructure, in the health sector, in other industries. But first of all, you may have been aware that we are trying hard to move our energy supply from the 2,500 megawatts supply we have now to a level at the 5,000 megawatt level. And this means that we would have 2,500 megawatts demand of investment between now and the next 3-4 years, and it's crucial for us. So we've already licensed about 10-11 independent power producers. Many of them have shown interest, but once they were given the license, they went and haven't come back. Now, the reason is not because they are seeing something wrong in Ghana, but I suspect that they are going to look for money. So we are looking for people who are readily willing to go and invest in this sector, the energy sector. Now, we have about 10 dams that can easily be where investment can change the dams into hydro power generation plants, just as we have in Akosombo, Pong, and Bui. We have 3 hydropower plants. So we can have 10 more, and if you are interested, you have 50 to 200 megawatts of energy to be derived from these 10 additional dam areas. But we also have a lot of gas. We have a lot of oil, not so much as others have, but we've just discovered, and you know what Tullow has done in Ghana. Tullow has been able to, was a front runner in exploration and the extraction of oil in Ghana. So now we are an exporter of oil. But you see, we don't have the needed infrastructure to carry out all that we want to do with our oil and gas. So the challenge we are facing is that now when we extract the gas, because of lack of infrastructure to carry the gas offshore into productive use, the challenge we have is that we don't have the needed infrastructure. So we can't get the gas out. So we are compelled to re-inject it into the oil wells. And Tullow is telling us is frustrating oil production. And it was the reason we opened up to the Chinese. I have always said that it's because the English that always had the advantage in coming and partnering us and doing business with us shied away a little. You have us searching elsewhere. So when the Chinese, for example, walked to us and said, look, we have this $3 million, you can take it and build infrastructure as a loan, and we readily ran in for it. But the challenge we now have is that you can't even get the money several years after we had agreed to sign this relationship. So that gap is still there. we need to cover it. But we also have to build our ports. We need to build a new airport. We need to build seaports, and we need to rehabilitate the existing ones. These are all business opportunities for us to have a relationship. And we have social housing. There is a housing deficit in Ghana of about 1.7 million houses, social houses. So no amount of investment in housing can go waste. Just as no amount of energy supply, can give you a headache, because we supply energy to Cote d'Ivoire, we supply energy to Mali, we supply energy to Burkina Faso, and we supply energy to Niger. Niger. So if Benin as well. So if we have enough energy, much more than we require, it's still not going to be wasted, because we can then export it to this area. We have lines that run right up to all these countries. So, but we have a challenge. We don't have it enough. Now, the challenge we have with the gas is because we don't have enough supplies. So those who want to invest in gas and have thermal energy, who want to provide thermal energy with thermal plants fired by gas, have a challenge, because Ghana's gas is not out yet. So we depend on the West African gas pipeline that flows from Nigeria, but that is not reliable at all, because we require about 120 million from that pipeline, but they are able to supply barely 80, and that is itself not enough. So sometimes we are thinking also about LNG supply. How do we get consistent supply to fire the many plants that are there for us? And so that is another opportunity. But we also have opportunities in the health sector. Though we want to build ultra-modern hospitals, so we don't have people flying to South Africa, flying to London, flying to Europe to check on very basic things that can be checked in Ghana. Medicine is very high in Ghana, but the facilities are not there. You have very, very highly qualified people. We've even done some transplants that have not been done in some advanced countries before. And so we have very qualified people, but we don't have the needed equipment. So we need diagnostic centers. We need ultra-modern hospitals. We have the capacity, the required human capacity to supply in that respect. So that is another area. And we want to have regional hospitals in all the 10 regions in Ghana. And we want to have one diagnostic center in Korle Bu. A company has taken up that responsibility. Whether they'll deliver is another question, but they are still all open up to anybody who is serious and willing to come forward and partner us to do that. The PPP, public-private partnership in Ghana, is a serious policy area, and we are willing to do so with any serious investor. And we have a legal regime about that. Right now, there is a policy direction towards our relation with any investor that is coming into Ghana. But there is, at the moment, huge interest in our road industry. They want to, businesses are making proposals to do toll roads. So far, none has taken off. So that opportunity, about 10 roads are there that we want to toll. And they are very profitable. And once you are able to construct the road, you come to agreement with us, run it for 20, 30 years, and be able to make your money, then you can turn it over back to government. So those opportunities are also there. Now, I'm very sure people will be asking questions about the recent announcement in Ghana by the central bank about our forex. It was well founded. The superstructure on which business exists is the economy. If the economy fails, business also fails. So we are conscious about that. It came a time when all transactions in Ghana were done with a dollar. You go to hotels, all the hotels were quoting in dollars. They charge rooms in dollars. You go to boutiques, they were all charging in dollars, and you know, services were provided in dollars, and people go to the counter, to the banks, and ask to withdraw money in dollars. So it made nonsense of our own currency. You know, so it created a problem, and it started creating what do you call it? The depreciation of our own currency. Now, you can't have a country with another currency being the supreme currency of that country. I don't think it can happen here, that you walk into the bank and say, I don't want you to give me pound sterling, I want you to give me dollars or euro. And then you buy things and insist that they should collect the money in dollars rather than in pound sterling. You know, but that's what was happening in Ghana. And people were literally carrying it and doing transactions. And it will take a responsible government to say, stop it there and let's go by the rules. Because that was creating a lot of depreciation of our cedi. So if you have heard that those directives were given, they were simply a reminder of existing laws in the country that you don't trade in another currency. You trade in the cedi, which is the supreme currency in Ghana. Let me take the opportunity to thank Direct Access Ghana for this invitation. This is a very unique initiative they have taken, and that's why we have given them the go-ahead to represent the interests of Ghana here in reaching out to many of you as possible and letting you know that we are willing to do business with you, and UK is a destination of choice, and we want you to make Ghana a destination of choice as well in your investments. And I thank you so much.
Okay, this is my motherland, Lady Ghana tiny. Anything I go talk, we get the time. Bo, Boniya hey, Boni Dane fe hey. Many me fende he kati and many won't pay. Maleba he can't fende Bajamin Kabo. Boy, you know, Ninja Lawa, where me kept. I promise on my own, I'm over Tayani and Shona. Ling off a Mina Sana, Libukuna no Shona.
Yawaena, Jumanchi Afiko May, Koan Kabila Capito, Zahida Kai. Banda bambanci Mudena zalunci Ubangijin Allah wai ma zumunci ya fi komai annan Muhammad wai ma zumunci ya fi komai iyayenmu wai ma zumunci ya fi komai.
And let me just thank Direct Access again, led by Mr. Danso, for the kind cooperation and support, commitment they have shown, showing that they love Ghana and sponsoring this whole trip. And I want to call on others to see it as our responsibility, not just government. It is our collective responsibility to see that this country is transformed from where it is to a better situation.
See, this is not a peace song, it's a love song. Peace and Ghana getting married, keep the love strong. See, a peace we cannot risk. War at home is like cardiac arrest, cause home is where the heart is. Let the trumpets sound victory. The battle that we won is a battle for a peace. We promise on an honor that we'll never fight again, cause Ghana is a happy place, the joy we should defend. Get 'em, what's up, motherland? I feel like